Hey guys, welcome back to Action Academy Accelerated. It is day number 5, the very last day. And this week has been amazing. And just before we get into today's content, we're actually going to talk about mindset today. But for you ladies, this is my go-to trick when I have not washed my hair and I have to do a video or a Facebook Live, just so you know, set up some good lighting, throw a hat on, and go with it. So anyway, as a little aside, but I wanted to share with you guys today about mindset and making some mindset shifts, because I can tell you one thing based on my years of experience and also working with over 500 women to help them grow their businesses. You guys are dealing with a lot of mindset barriers, especially at the beginning. It's normally that first like 6 to 12 months where we start really getting triggered in a lot of ways. So maybe we have an imposter syndrome. Maybe we don't feel like we have the right to be doing this. Maybe we don't feel confident enough. Maybe we feel like we need more credentials. Maybe we're scared of judgment. We're scared of criticism. We're scared of getting called out by our peers. We're scared of haters and trolls and things like that. We're scared of, you know, doing all this work and it not actually panning out. And so I want to kind of start to allay some of those fears for you guys and work through some of this stuff today, because these are the kinds of big mindset shifts that you can take with you after this challenge is over. You guys can move forward and really just remind yourself of, okay, when I'm getting triggered, when I'm feeling not good enough, when I'm getting, maybe I am getting some judgment or criticism or people saying some stuff, I know that I can handle that. So I want to talk to you today about a few shifts. The first is this, a couple of things that come up for me, especially at the beginning of my business, were resiliency. So there's a book written by Ryan Blair. I forget the name of the book, but anyway, Ryan Blair wrote the book, and he said that the path is all math. And I love this quote because it reminds me, he actually told the story about when he was starting ViSalus. You guys might have heard of ViSalus Sciences, it's a supplement company. When he was starting that company, he was getting really emotionally attached to the outcomes in the business. So if things weren't going right, it was like the worst day. And he was really taking it on and making it really personal, that he was not good, that he was doing something wrong. And, you know, I think there's probably some ownership that can be taken with that. But a lot of that emotional kind of emotional turmoil and not good enough and feeling weak and feeling scared and feeling fear and anxiety really just clouds our ability to investigate and get clinical with what is actually working. And so the path is all math reminds us that when we put ourselves out there, when we go to create something, we're creating a post and we have, you know, an expectation that it's going to be really well received, and then it kind of falls flat, or we even put out a freebie or we put out a new product and it doesn't quite hit the expectations that we set up. A lot of times we can really take that on and make it super personal. Here's the thing, you guys know this, if you are insecure about something, life has an amazing way of showing you that stuff and triggering you so that it's forcing you to deal with it. I always say that building your business is kind of the best personal development you can do, right alongside maybe relationships, but building your business will trigger every single sensitivity and insecurity that you already have about your sense of self-worth. I'm gonna say it again, building a business will trigger every single sensitivity and insecurity that you already have about not being good enough. And so you're going to get that stuff, and it's probably gonna come from an expectation that's not gonna be met. So the path is all math reminds us that we do not need to make our missteps, our failures, you know, I don't even really tend to believe in failures, but missteps, mistakes, things that don't quite pan out how they're supposed to look, and taking those things and just getting clinical with them and going, okay, what can I investigate here? At the beginning of JillFit, I would take on other people's emotions. I would feel really triggered by things. I would really get upset if things didn't go to plan. I would get, if you know, there were bumps in the road or a launch didn't go the way I wanted to, I would get so upset to the point that I would just give up. I would just be like, you know what? People don't want this thing. I'm not going to put it out. I'm not going to push it. Now I know that it's a marketing issue. Now I know that there's something I can actually do to get better at either communicating my message, or it's not the right offer, or no one needs this product, or I'm not building the value enough. It's a marketing issue. For me, it comes down to, I know my products and services are great. Am I doing a great job of communicating and building the value so that someone else sees it as valuable as well? So this comes down to just literally effort and attitude. It comes down to effort and attitude. I have to be able to be objective when it comes to the outcomes in my business, whether it's a single social media post or a Facebook Live. I know you guys have been getting super vulnerable this week. So sometimes when we do get vulnerable and we peel back the curtain, or we kind of show people the behind the scenes, we get this like feeling of, oh my God, I'm gonna get, you know, I'm gonna get a huge windfall of responses, or I'm gonna get a bunch of DMs, or maybe we think that no one's gonna comment, and then we're gonna feel out there all alone and we're gonna be like, hey, I just bared my soul. Where is everybody, right? So we have these kind of expectations, and in my experience, none of that actually happens. Posts I think are gonna go crazy viral, end up not really going viral. And then other ones that I think, you know, I'm just like throwing something up, gets like a ton of virality. So a lot of times, if we have expectations, it's normal, it's human stuff to have an expectation of how it's supposed to look. But a lot of my work, for myself even and for my coaching clients, is expectation management. Expectation management. If you are a fat loss coach or a body change coach and you're helping someone eat better or exercise consistently, you know exactly what this is like, right? They want the magic pill. They want it to happen overnight. They want it to happen faster. And so a lot of our job as coaches is expectation management. Okay, so great. So we need to be patient. We need to have some tenacity about us. So same thing when it comes to business building. It's literally the exact same thing. Building your business is the same thing as body change. We want it to happen faster, it just doesn't, and so we have to figure out a way to enjoy the process as we are doing it. So remember I told you, if things don't go to plan or don't look how they should look, it doesn't mean that you're bad, it doesn't mean that you're wrong, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be doing this, it doesn't mean like no one wants your stuff, no one wants you. Don't take it on personally. That's a huge distraction to being able to continue to progress. So resiliency for me has been huge, to just go, okay, what's the solution here? What's the action item? And how can I shift my mindset so that I don't feel like I'm bad? It's just like, okay, this thing didn't happen that I thought should, but okay, so how can I get clinical with it now? How can I get objective and remove emotion and really just deal with it and get solution oriented? So resiliency has been huge and getting clinical has been huge. The second thing, of course, is gratitude. Gratitude is one of my favorite practices because sometimes we're forward thinking. What's next? What's next? What's next? And I love that. I love the process. I love the journey. I love taking action. I love revealing the next steps. But sometimes when we're so forward focused, we forget to look back and go like, man, I've done a lot. You know, sometimes I shared this in the cheat sheet. I have a folder on my desktop just that says thank you, and I have an inbox, a folder in my inbox that says thank you, and I put all my screenshots from people, from social media, any emails that I get, direct messages, I put them into those folders, and sometimes I have to look back at them and go like, wow, it really does matter. What I'm doing really does make a difference. It really does hit people. And if my message can help one single person, then I feel like I'm obligated to continue to put that message out. And it's hard because we go, okay, well, you know, I'm not making the money that I feel like I should be, or I'm putting in so much effort, and the effort that I'm putting in is not commensurate with the outcomes, right? Should is the word. I should be making all this money. I should be getting all these fans. I should be getting all these followers. I should be able to get subscribers. Yes, you should, but you haven't put the reps in yet. So look back and go, okay, what have I done though? How have I impacted people? Even if it's one single person, maybe it's an in-person client whose life has been changed by you. It's important to look back at those wins and use those wins to fuel your effort moving forward, because what you do does matter. At this point, you're getting started, you're growing, and it is really easy to feel like no one cares. It's really easy to go, well, no one cares. I can just go back to what I was doing before. No one will notice. Here's the thing. They are noticing. They're not commenting yet. They're maybe not sending you DMs yet. They're not reaching out yet. But people are reading, people are interested, people are intrigued. They don't know what to do with it yet. They're waiting to see what happens. They don't know you yet. And they don't know you, they can't like you, and they can't trust you yet. So you right now are just in that trust building phase. You are building a trust platform on which you'll be able to cash in later once you've built that. But you know, we don't just launch something and everyone comes. It's not build it and they will come. It's build it some more, build it some more, build some more, then ask people to come, right? So that's really what it's like. And so I want you guys to remember to feel gratitude and also to practice resiliency. The last thing I want to share with you guys is a big tool, super important. And I was asked this on a podcast interview this week. Someone said, what do you tell people who feel like they're an imposter? So they feel like they're not good enough, or they feel like, who am I to do this? How do you get them to take scary action steps? So I'm gonna just say that most of you have taken a scary action step this week. Good job, but that's what the tool is. The tool is actually called the as-if principle. The as-if principle, it's based on a book written called The As-If Principle by Richard Wiseman. And he says that instead of reciting mantras and affirmations, which, you know, sometimes we just think, oh, I just got to say it to myself enough and then I'm going to be good enough. He says you have to take action to be able to see evidence that you're capable. It's through action that we can look back and see evidence that we did something. So remember day number 1 where I asked you to come up with the struggles and the solutions? So many of you guys said, wow, when I wrote that down, I was like, wow, I really do know some stuff. So sometimes we have to just take the action to be able to see that we are competent. And when we see that we are competent, that lends more confidence to move forward. This is called the confidence-competence loop, right? The more we do, the more now evidence we have that we survived it and we learned some stuff, and I can now do the next thing, which makes me more competent. So it's that confidence and that competency, and those things are a feed-forward cycle. And the way that you get into the cycle is by taking scary action. The as if principle says, and this is just my 100%, you guys, my operating system. Just to give you an example, I invested a ton of money in my business over the last 6 months and a huge chunk of my money about a month ago. And it was really scary. It never gets easier. You know, you kind of get to know, you trust yourself a little bit more to do the work and stuff like that, but it's still scary to make a financial commitment. And when I had the opportunity to invest, I said to myself, what would Oprah do? Like literally, what would Oprah do? Or it doesn't need to be Oprah, it can be what would someone who has the lifestyle or is doing the thing that I want to create, what would they choose to do in this scenario? So maybe little Jill, scared Jill, would say no, but I'm going, you know, I really want to get my business to a certain level over the next couple of years. And that person, what's Jill 5 years ago, or five years from now, what does she need to do now to become that person? So maybe I'll look out in the industry and I look at someone who has maybe the lifestyle or the influence or the impact that I want to make. Maybe they have a book deal or they're doing some other big things that I haven't quite hit yet. What would they do if this choice was presented to them? I need to act as if I already have the thing. I have to make choices now based on where I want to be versus making choices as I am right now, which is scared and not quite there yet, right? So I think for most of us, it can be what would Oprah do? What would my future self do? What is the person who wants to reach this goal? What would they do? And this is how I make my decisions. And granted, I can't say yes to every single investment that comes across my desk, but I ask myself, like, is this going to get me, would this person do this thing? And that as if principle says we don't wait until our business is viable to start treating it like it's viable. We have to start treating it like it's viable right now. Before we're even making a lot of money, before we're even making any money, we have to start treating it like it's already making money. It's a little counterintuitive, but you can't treat it as a hobby and expect for it to become your full-time job. I'm gonna say it again, you can't treat it as a hobby and then expect for it to become your full-time job. You have to treat it like it's a full-time job or at least a part-time job, at least a viability, like that you're treating it like it's viable already in order for it to become that thing. This is the as-if principle. You take actions. Remember, action gets you in the confidence-competence loop. You take actions that then reaffirm that you are this person who takes these scary steps. And when your brain is watching you and your brain is going, oh, I guess Jill is someone who takes uncomfortable steps. I guess she is someone who is vulnerable on the internet. I guess she is someone who asks for money. I guess she is someone who invests back in her business. My brain is watching that. And that is way more powerful in helping me become the person I want to become than affirmations in the mirror, right? Affirmations in the mirror are great. We can read all the mindset books. We can sit here and we can talk about it. We can intellectualize it. I love doing that stuff just as much as the next person. But when push comes to shove, when the rubber meets the road, what choice do you make in that moment? You guys, honestly, I'm around a lot of entrepreneurs. I'm in 2 high-level masterminds, and everyone in those groups they're taking scary action after scary action after scary action, and it's the one thing that everyone in the group is doing together. And so ask yourself, if I want to create this thing in the moment when I have presented the opportunity to step out of my comfort zone and do the thing that I would normally not do, what do I do? Because we can intellectualize it, but really when it gets down to the experiential, are you putting yourself out there? Are you pressing publish even when it's uncomfortable? Are you investing back in your business? Are you acting as if you already have the life that you want to create? This is tough, right? This is really tough stuff, but this all comes down to mindset, and really at the core of mindset is action. I love action. It's the great elucidator. If I don't know what's going to happen, I do the thing and then I know, and then the what's going to happen is revealed to me. So I want to commend you guys on being here. I want to affirm that you guys are doing amazing work. You guys are tagging me in your posts. I've been loving what I've been seeing. To me, if you can find a way to continually take action, even if it's scary, 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 there's honestly guaranteed you're gonna get there. Guaranteed you're gonna get there, because so many people don't do that. So many people give up. So many people take their losses personally. For me, I'm always going to continue to take action. I've coached so many women through this process, and it really is the ones who keep showing up, who keep treating it the same, they end up becoming the most successful, because so many people just give up. They say it takes 3 to 5 years to make your business viable. That's because no one else is around anymore. No one else is around. People have given up at 2 months in, 6 months in, a year in, 18 months in. People have given up. And so if you can just take a little more action than the next person, you can just overcome a little bit more fear than the next person, if you can just act as if you were already the thing that you want to create, you're going to be successful, guaranteed. I've seen it over and over and over again. So today, no homework. You guys have been working really hard today. I want to leave you with this message, mindset message, a little bit of inspiration, a little bit of motivation for you, and really just start to think about these things. If you need to write stuff down and have those affirmations, great. But remember, the key tool is this: when given an opportunity to step out of your comfort zone, what do you choose? That's really what it comes down to. And I'm still doing that 8 years into my business, right? Making these decisions, it never stops. And so decide what you want that to look like, and then ask yourself, what would that person who I want that lifestyle, I want that impact, I want that influence, what would they do in this scenario? And that's literally my decision-making guide. So anyway, I hope that's helpful for you guys. No homework tonight. I know that you guys have been working really hard, so I want to give you a breather, but hopefully you guys have learned so much this week, and that you can rinse and repeat a lot of the stuff that you were taught and that you implemented. So anyway, I love you guys. I really appreciate you being here, and I'm always so, so honored and just so humbled that you would spend a week with me and taking a ton of action, and really just giving me the opportunity to get to know you and see your posts and get to know your business and what you're all about. So it's been just as fun for me as it has been for you, hopefully. And I'll see you guys soon. Talk to you soon. Bye.